I think it's important for us as a society to recognize the impact of race and social injustice on individuals, whether we're adults or children. So the impact of race on our work, it has been clearly proven that we have systemic and structural issues in our society that prevent the opportunities that are available to the majority of society to be available to children of color. I think the way that our housing policies were set up in the 40s and the 50s created these societies that are tremendously segregated and this disparate economic opportunities for individuals of color compared to those who are white. So I think we have to face that, and children see that. They see that. They can see that the resource that I have in my house is really different from the resource that other people see. They see it on television, they see it on social media, they see it when they connect with other children in their schools, for example. And so all of those things really weigh on children. And we can't ignore it any longer in our society. And I think what you're seeing today is people are saying, again, enough is enough. And we have to make some changes in our society that will make all of us better.
So in order to deal with trauma, one of the first things we want to do is help people feel safe. So we want to make sure that for our kids that we're not monopolizing them on screen time, that we're not allowing them to be inundated with these images of chaos, of violence, of unrest. But what we definitely need to do as parents and caregivers is first educate ourselves. There is a lot of ignorance in our country about the role of racism in our world, of systemic racism, of the actual lived experience of people of color when we're in a position of privilege. So we have to all educate ourselves from whatever vein we come from to be able to understand the other, understand ourselves, understand the lived experience of other people, and to talk with our kids in honest, sincere ways that they will be able to understand. We also have to give them wide and rich cultural experiences. We have to think about our own social groups and what exposures we're giving to our kids so that we can make sure that they have an experience where they're going to grow up in a very different way than our generation has. So we have systemic problems, and there are definitely systemic changes that need to happen. But just like racism, where we can't take a concept and paint it on a large swath of people based on race, that it's the same unfair thing to do to police officers. Police officers, depending on your perspective, might be part of a larger subset that needs systemic change, but individual police officers are not inherently evil because they're individuals, just like all of us are individuals. So we need to judge the individual differently than we judge the system. And that's what we can talk to our kids about, that this individual is still an individual, and we don't know them and know their story, so maybe we can have the opportunity to do that, maybe we don't. We don't have to get to know everybody, we don't have to be bosom buddies with everyone in the world. But judging an individual and judging a system are two different things, and that's what we can teach our children.
I think it's very clear that today we still remain a very segregated world and nation, and we know little about each other. You know, I heard several times from my white friends, I want to do something. So the desire for the change is there. What is the challenge is, in order to do something, you have to really understand what you don't know. And the greatest example that I get from several of my friends is, I never knew that there was a children, you talk to them honestly, and you say, sometimes in our society, people don't agree, and the way that they charge into those disagreements can be violent. But what they're trying to express is, look, things are not right for me, and the more we can develop that tool of listening and understanding and empathy, the better we will be prepared to make the changes that are necessary to make our society greater.